Hi, it's Mike with AskTractorMike.com. I'm sitting on a trailer today to talk about trailers. I did a video last week talking about how to pick out a trailer to haul your new tractor around. And it got so many views, it dawned on me that there's a lot of people that are buying trailers right now to haul their tractors and equipment around. And if you're not trained just a little bit on how to load the trailer, how to secure the tractor, how to move the trailer around, you can get in real trouble from a safety issue and from a liability issue. So when I saw how many views that video last week got, I thought I better do a video on safety. And I cover this a lot in my videos, but I don't think you can over safety when you're out on the open road with a lot of weight behind you. You better be safe, because there's a lot of lives that could be changed quickly if you're not. So this trailer right here would be a great trailer if you're buying your first trailer to practice on. This belongs to my neighbor Wes's mom and stepdad, and I borrowed it a few years ago. Parked it up in the fence row when I was done and asked Wes if he wanted me to bring it back. He said, "I'll just keep it there. We'll call you if we need it." And it's stayed in my fence row ever since, which is where most trailers stay all the time. It's got plants growing up in it. It's got a vine growing up in the ramp. It's been up here a while. We're going to clean it up and I think sell it. So I'm pulling it out today. But if you're buying a trailer, the first thing you need to know is maneuvering. And that's something that you just kind of got to practice and do over and over again to get good at. And there's a real easy way to learn that. You've got the tractor, you've got the new trailer, hook them together and use it. And that's how I learned. I grew up on an apple orchard. We'd pick apples in crates and they had to be hauled into the apple shed. And I would volunteer to do that at a very young age. And I don't know how young I was when I started doing that, but pretty young. But by the time I was 14 or 15, I was pretty much an expert at backing a trailer because I had done it so many times. I had to bring the trailer in from the orchard and then back it into the apple shed. And I became real good at it, and you get real good at it because tractors drive slow and everything is open where you can see it and you know what works and what doesn't. So that's a great way to learn that. Also, we cut firewood. So I would take the trailer out in the woods and drive it around in tight quarters. And you get real good at maneuvering things when you're doing stuff like that. So hook your new trailer up to your tractor. To do that, you'll need one of these 3-point receiver hitch frames that goes on your 3-point that lets you tow the trailer. Or if you've got a long enough tongue on your trailer, you might be able to put a hitch ball in your drawbar and pull the trailer that way. So hook your trailer up to your tractor and drive it around your farmstead in the woods in tight quarters, back it up. And because you're moving slow and you can see everything, you'll get real good and you'll get a lot of really good practice that will apply when you're hauling the tractor on the trailer on the open road. Now these next 4 are real safety issues that you need to know about. The first one is stopping a trailer. You know, with your truck, we've got great brakes on our trucks and those things stop on a dime, but you put a tractor back there that weighs 10,000 pounds in the trailer and try to stop with it, especially on wet pavement, especially on gravel. Coming down a hill makes a difference. And some trailers don't have brakes. Talked about this in last week's video. Make sure you've got brakes on your trailer. On most trailers will have it on 1 axle. Better if it added on 2, but 1 axle will help to stop you. But remember to take it easy. You're going to have to go slower. It takes longer to stop with that much weight on. So especially if you're on wet pavement, especially if you're coming down a slope, especially if you're on gravel, remember that weight is going to push you. I've got a really good friend that borrowed my tractor, showed up here to load it up and take it about 10 miles from here to use it and then bring it back. And his old trailer may or may not have brakes, and if they have brakes, they may not have been working. But he took the back roads to get where he was going, and he was coming down a hill on gravel, and he tried to stop, and the weight of that trailer pushed him right out into a major highway. If anybody had been coming, it'd have been a wreck. It'd have been bad. It'd have been ugly. I probably would have been liable. But nobody was coming, thankfully. He got it stopped. He got it turned around. But he let his son drive it back home. But the important thing to know is don't drive too fast and understand it takes a lot bigger distance to stop when you've got that weight behind you. The number 3 thing about buying a trailer and putting a tractor on it is securing that tractor to the deck of the trailer. And it's important that you do it right, because if you don't, it's a liability issue, it's a safety issue. Now, if you look at the DOT standards, they're going to tell you that you need chains crossed on the back, 2 chains on the back of the tractor, 2 chains crossed on the front. And by being crossed like that, it's pulling it to the side, it's pulling it back. The back chains are, the front chains are pulling it to the side and pulling it forward. You want 2 chains pulling back, 2 chains pulling forward, crossed. And if you'll do that, that'll secure the tractor to the trailer. If you have implements, they need to be secured. And like a bush hog or brush hog on the back, you can put a strap over that, but you need to secure implements and tractor to that trailer. If you don't, you're in a liability issue. Do not put straps or chains or anything over rubber, over tires. And don't strap it to something that's not real stable. The drawbar is the best place to put it, the drawbar hanger or to the axle. And I've done videos on that. I'll put links down below. But secure that thing to the trailer. If you have an accident, this is what you want. You want it to stay on the trailer. And whoever did this, my hat's off to you. You are a pro. All right, let's talk about the next thing to be safe about with a trailer. And this is not on the open road. This is when you're loading the trailer. At some point, when you're driving a tractor up on the ramps to get it on the trailer, the weight of the tractor on the back of the trailer is going to pick up on the back of the truck. And that can get you in real trouble. And I witnessed that. I have not been in the dealership world very long when I watched a customer pick the back of his truck up and off the whole thing went down a hill. And that can happen. If your emergency brakes control your back wheels of your truck and you don't have chocks under those wheels, something to stop you, and you drive up there, you're going to pick the back of the truck up, and if you stay right where you are, it's going to start down a hill. If you're on a hill, it'll either be forward or backward, and your instinct is going to be to freeze. And if you drove forward and let the truck come down, it would probably stop. If you backed up and let it down, it would stop. But if you stay right where you are, that thing's going to take off, and it's going to go wherever gravity can take you. Now watch this video here of me loading my tractor on a trailer and see how much it picks up the back of this truck. And if you're not on level ground and you're not having your wheels chocked, this can pick the truck up in the air and off you go. And so when you're loading the tractor, it's best to chock the wheels, lock the emergency brake, do it on level ground, and you'll be safe. But if you do it on a hill and your wheels aren't chocked, you could go off down that hill and it's going to end up wherever gravity takes you. And that's not a ride you want to take. Now the fifth thing today I'm going to talk about, and I have witnessed this so many times, is negative tongue weight. And I try to do a video every year talking about negative tongue weight because it seems like every year I'm alive and on the highways I see somebody with a problem, and it's seriously dangerous. When you load a tractor on a trailer, you're going to want about 10% of the weight of that tractor pushing down on the tongue of that trailer and the back wheels of the truck. If you have it just level where there's no weight on it, or if worse, you have the tractor backed up where it's pulling up, the weight of the tractor is pulling up on the back end of the truck, the load will get goofy. The truck will start doing this. And if you're ever following someone down the road with a travel trailer or a tractor on a trailer or anything, and it's doing this, it's doing the wiggle, that's because they've got negative tongue weight. And that's what it does. It makes the back of the truck goofy. And if you get enough of it, it literally, if you Google negative tongue weight and watch some of these videos, you're going to see it, the trailer just pick the truck up and take it off the road and turn it over. And that's how it usually ends when you have negative tongue weight. I was coming back from Chicago, Illinois a couple of years ago after visiting my daughter there. And my wife and I were driving together, and we came up on I think a van pulling a little trailer like this with a subcompact tractor on it loaded backwards. So all the way to the engine and the loader was on the back of the trailer. And he would go a little bit and you'd just see, and all of a sudden he'd start doing this and then he'd slow down, but it was still doing this, and he was all over the road. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to try to get around him and I didn't want to distract him because he was spending all his attention trying to keep that thing on the road. But I wanted to get up next to him and say, hey, stop, turn that tractor around, get the weight on the tongue, and you'll be fine. You drive the speed limit. But driving that, he would get like this, and boy, just about to where he was going to be in trouble. And we followed him for a long time. Finally got off the road and said, we're going to come back later. But it gets real goofy. It doesn't take much weight to do that. And I tell you from experience, I used to work in the dealership world, and we sold a guy a tractor and his first trailer and his first tractor. And he was getting ready to load it, and we asked him if he needed help, and he said, no, I'm fine, I got this. And he loaded it up. It didn't get any tongue weight on, drove down the road. We get a call from him on the cell phone. He made it about a mile, and he was almost in tears. He said, come get me. I don't want this trailer. I don't ever want to truck equipment again. I'm done as a trucker forever. And we got down there, and he had not loaded the tractor far enough on the trailer. He had negative tongue weight, and he was all over the road, and he went about a mile. And probably, I think he got saved in the trip, because it'll make you pray. It's so scary. And I'm going to put a link down in the description below to a video that shows what happens when you have that happen. But number 5, and that's probably the one I see the most, that is the most dangerous, is negative tongue weight. Make sure you get that tractor on far enough to push down on that tongue in the back wheels of the truck. And if you need to, you can fold your bucket underneath and get on a little further and get that weight up there. But those are 5 things you need to know if you're buying your first trailer. Be safe, guys. Don't want to lose any viewers. I want you to be safe when you get that first trailer. Appreciate you guys watching my videos. If you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'd be honored. Click the mic face icon and check the bell so you're notified when I post future videos. Here's a link to my website and the Tractor Fun Store with unique items for the tractor owner that helps support my channel. And here's another video about trailers you might want to watch. Thanks for watching.